Ladies and gentlemen, boys of all ages, welcome to the one, the only Dirty Laundry by Smack. This is our video format, and we're super happy to start another round here, right?
We have no clue, as always. I don't know where the camera is. There's so many cameras. There's so many beautiful people in this room. The format, ladies and gents, is very simple. We have absolutely no idea what we're about to talk about. We're about to get some cue cards, and there's some stories there. Anybody can submit some stories to this format, and then nothing is safe from Phil and me and the rest of the gang. And we are about to dissect every single one of those.
When you hear the sound beep, we said something that is inappropriate.
It's going to happen a lot.
The more you hear it, the better the topic is. No, but jokes aside, we're here at the Social Hub in Berlin in the most beautiful laundry room
What
that
a
we
place.
have. And
What a
as you can
place.
see, we even have 2 new dryers. That's a very good advice because a lot of our people complained about that. So it's working. Everything's working. Everything's working. And I think we're ready to dive in,
Let's
right?
do it. Let's run it.
Touch the pants, man.
Touch the pants, man.
You're good at.
For those of you...
slide in the pants.
Yeah, I mean, just slide in, not the DMs, but the pants. For those of you that don't see what's going on, we have a deck of cue cards here. There's probably about 15 cards here, I would say, and Phil and I will look at each one of them individually. Are we ready?
Yeah, I cannot wait for you to go in
To dive deep into the pants. All right, here we go. This is from a lady by the name of Krista. Krista,
Shout out to Krista.
this is for you. She is a chief housekeeper. And Krista has said, "Hello, boys. We had a large group of 10 young guys staying with us for work." This is already not a good... The first sentence already is concerning. "We got 5 different complaints that our guest dryers did not work. We haven't had any issues previously with our dryers, so we asked them what's going on. They all give us some variation of, I've run my clothes through the dryer 3 times now, and they're still damp." Okay. Guess what? All of these young men have been using our washing machines just fine and then loading their laundry into another washing machine. Well, how do we not talk about guys and washing machines without stating the obvious that they just had absolutely no idea what they were doing?
I have to say, first and foremost, I will not judge on everything. Sometimes people are out of their mother's houses for the first time, and usually if mommy still washes your clothes and puts them in the dryer, that is what happens. But I really think about that moment where they open the second one, set the dryer, and they touch it, and it's all wet.
I mean, and imagine the moment somebody comes in from still. So imagine Krista walks into the laundry room and says, "Guys, have we been using our brain today, or because you've been throwing it into the washing?" That must be so embarrassing.
No, imagine being one of the boys and somebody tells you, "Hey, great, you put the stuff in the washing machine." Thumbs up.
Yeah,
and then you're putting in the dryer.
Thumbs down. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the machines, I guess, somewhat look similar, so that I respect that, but. I mean, look.
Yeah. I have to say, from an operative perspective, we had same and similar issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is 2 sides of the story. One thing is if you use a washing machine and you put it full, and then you take the full machine out and put it in a dryer, very often that doesn't work. Because the dryer needs air to dry. So you need to only fill it halfway. And that's some of the cases an issue. You cannot have it 40-50 minutes running. It will not dry, really. So
tune in next time for Phil's laundry lessons.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
Yeah, we meet you here. We do laundry trainings quite occasionally with people, with young students and stuff. But the fun thing is, why starting back, there are 10 young guys staying.
How are there 10 boys and they just all don't realize?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a problem.
You don't have one friend in your friendship, people around your friends that you could ask for, hey, how do I wash my clothes?
Yeah, I mean...
the question is, are you still washing your clothes at home?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
At my home, not my mom's home.
You
anymore.
have a housekeeper, right?
No, I don't. We're not that far yet. But but I can use the washing machine. All right, that's fine. Yeah. Krista, respect for staying professional when you walked into that room.
I hope you did.
Well done.
I would have not stayed professional. Probably you should have for the next time. Just if you have a third washing machine,
just throw it into the third one.
This one.
All right, next.
All right. It's my turn.
Finally touch the pants. Yeah,
Let me see. I go down all the way down, all the way down.
Yeah,
I got the
and
first
there's
one.
a card for us.
I got a card here. All right. Okay, look, this is how we do it on this episode.
New Year, more smack. Let's go.
New Year, more smack, but I have to read it that way because it's the way we do it here. Nathan, a night audit. I think every story that starts with a night audit already is a guarantee.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
usually
amazing.
a dirty one. Yeah.
While I was working at a luxury hotel, I once got a call to remove a snail from a guest's room. Dirty. As it was coming after them and that they were afraid for their young child.
A snail or a snake?
It says a snail.
Bro, how are you afraid of a snail? Okay, yeah.
Now, that's all I gotta say. Nathan, if you listen to us, did you do it? Did you get the snail out? And if this hotel was in France, you could eat a snail, right?
I mean, you can bring it to the kitchen. You can bring it to Chef Francois, and he will turn it into some beautiful dish.
Reading the card a second time, there's people calling the reception and saying there's a snail coming after us.
Yeah. Imagine you get
what
that
is
call.
that?
Yeah.
Is that speed snail?
I was going to say it's sprinting. It is sprinting. And it even says my young child is in danger. I mean, I've never, I'm not, I'm set aside dogs. I'm not really an animal guy, but I've never heard of a killer snail.
I mean, a snail could digest the human body probably in 1,000 or 2,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long the booking was.
I think, and you know what? I think within that time span, there is probably a chance that you can save the kid. I think there's a chance. Nathan, shout out to you, man.
Can you send us a picture of the snail? Because for sure you would have taken a picture
I was gonna say,
send it to
there
your
must
friends.
be proof. There must be proof.
But before we go to the next one, imagine that's the stuff the people at the reception have to take care of.
Reception is still you're the frontline staff for any BS that happens around the hotel.
Would you call a receptionist for getting a snail out of it? I mean, okay, could be a luxury hotel and you pay a fortune and you don't expect a snail in your room. That's probably the downside of that. But
I mean, I wouldn't. Not a snail nor spider. I will, and I know that you and I have talked about this off camera. The one animal set that I'm just not cool with is anything that's reptile. If there's a crocodile in my room, I'm calling somebody.
You should not spend the night with me because there's a crocodile between us.
All right, next.
All right, next one.
All right, here we go. I
like that he got the cards with a lot of text because people don't think that I can read. So next time I only get pictures, right?
I mean, can you imagine just images? That would be a good format. Just images and we have to guess
the story.
What the story.
Last one would be easy.
Yeah.
Guy at reception, snail, and scared kid.
Chasing a kid. Frederica. Hello, Frederica.
Freddie.
This one lady came into the lobby around 11 p.m. asking for the workout room. I imagine the gym. So I opened it back up for her, figuring out she was one of those 24 hours a day workout people. I went back in around...
I'm one of them.
I agree. A late night workout, not a bad thing at all.
Nope.
I went back in around 3 a.m. to close it up again.
That's not me.
And she had set up a bed for herself on the treadmill. Bruh. What? Ended up giving her our last room after she had a fight with her husband and was refusing to sleep in one bed with him. That's actually hilarious. Yeah.
How did she took probably the what's it called?
The treadmill. I guess you bring the pillow.
No, the how you call it? The towels? Yeah, she took towels for sure.
And okay, fair enough. And made a pillow out of a towel.
Probably one of the softballs that you use for training.
Yeah,
as
a pillow for neck and everything. That's crazy. I mean, look, I think if the guest opens up to you and says, "Hey, I've fell out with my husband. Do you have another room?" I think there's probably not a single receptionist on this planet that will say, let me figure something out.
Let me go back to the room of your husband. No, there is one. I think the first thing is, so starting from the beginning, working out at night, we agree, that's not a thing. 11 p.m. is not even a bad time for workout. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Kudos, Frederica, to you that you check the gym again at 3. That's one thing that I always try to train my people as well, especially if the gym is not visible from the lobby and far out somewhere in the hotel. So good for everybody out there. Always check out the public areas. Doesn't matter where they are. And the last kudos I could get, great that you solved the situation somehow. Huh? Usually that happens when you don't have a room free. That's a bit more tricky. What do you do then?
Yeah. I mean, then I guess, potentially even find another solution. If it's in a big city, potentially find a solution at the competitor around the corner, right? Because I mean, the worst thing you want to imagine, devil's advocate, let's imagine she doesn't do this and there's some form of domestic violence of some sort that goes on because you didn't act accordingly, right? You're going to feel terrible afterwards.
Usually what you could always do is probably take an out of order room, something like this, and just explain it to get the situation over. Yeah. But I mean, this cannot be in Berlin for sure, because in Berlin the lady would have been naked when you entered the gym
and wasted out of her face. So Federica, good for you. Well done. Salute to you. And treadmill sleeping is something that I've never heard of. So There's definitely a new one. Okay. Anyways, next.
Oh, it's me. Probably let's make a guess.
How's Stefan doing? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
He's okay.
Turn in a bit to the camera.
Yeah, he can see the camera.
My friend. I could not do it alone. That's
why we need support here.
A bit more
mental and emotional. Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that I wonder why I get these cards. Is that on purpose? Because I can read what the fuck?
I feel like it's the English, man.
Mike, revenue manager. This story is amazing.
Mike.
It's a story that's amazing. I love it. It happened to all of us. We accidentally sold about 100 rooms on a well-known OTA for €1.
For legal reasons, there's obviously many OTAs. There's Booking.com, Expedia, Trivago, and so on and so forth for legal reasons.
Yeah. But it's a well-known, so
yeah, fair enough.
Limits.
probably not Trivago. Sorry.
No, that's a good one. Huh? No. At the moment we have good and famous
relations.
OTAs.
We love Trivago. Sorry, never mind.
No, but back to the point. You sold about 100 rooms for €1. Let me paint a picture of your next morning meeting with your GM or your revenue responsible.
The fuck was going on there?
Is that occupancy? Yay! Average rate. You're fired
for €1. How do you fix that? Can you turn around? I'm generally asking out of interest. So imagine you're, obviously not something that I would assume happens, but you call the OTA, you say, hey guys, sorry.
You don't need to call them today. So you can fix the price. Once you realize the mistake is made, you fix the price immediately and it will update the system from the moment you fix it. That's easy. But imagine you have already sold 100 rooms. And the question is, if this happens for today, and the people stayed and you realize tomorrow we sold them in the past, so the business has been made, the delivery of the good has been done, and it's a bit harder to then make a higher invoice. Everything that is a bit in the future, you obviously have a chance. Because you can, both sides can cancel reservations. A guest can cancel, you can cancel. It's the same thing. So you could say it's a mistake. You might lose 100 customers and you might risk 100 bad reviews. There might be only 60% who understands that it's a mistake, but a lot of them might probably still be pissed. I would be pissed because you're all happy. You take all your friends and when you book everything, probably you have a flight booked. So it is a thin discussion. Do you take the loss financially by getting them high feedback, high 5-star reviews on all the booking feedback portals? Plus, if you made a mistake, make something out of it. So you have these 100 people for €1, make something out of it. Make a campaign, make a dinner, make sure that the people who are coming having an amazing time so that they really speak about it, and the next time they might book for another one. So that's what I would do. Nevertheless, I would still try to cancel those that I could cancel. Give them obviously not the rack rate or not the sold rate, probably reduce the rate by 20% or something like this, and make sure that they still come, and the other ones try to convert to happy guests. It's a chance to make 100 people extremely happy, which is probably a rare moment,
which is worth something as well.
But financially, it's a big thing.
It's a
because between us, it does not happen at the day where your rate is €60.
No, for sure.
The mistake happens at the day where your rate is 150 or 120, and then or even more.
You lose a lot of cash. Thanks, Mike.
Mike, and one thing, you know what happened to me already? Usually you take a gamble when you sold out your hotel. So you sell more rooms than you have. We all know that.
Classic overbooking.
We overbook as much as we can. Usually, let's say 99% you're surviving because people are not coming, especially in business periods. But the one day in your life, you gonna be touched badly by my little friend here and be really feeling screwed. So I was the one who once had to book out the last room in the Waldorf Astoria at a rate of €1,000 in my Mercure. That was quite money. And I came to a regional meeting the day after, and I came to around, all the GMs are talking, and they're like, hey man, there was one guy in Berlin out of the network who had to book Waldorf Astoria for €1,000.
Who was that?
I raised my hand, said, That's me. That's me. But I told my boss, I said, you're winning. We're winning so many times. When you overbook, you usually always win.
Sometimes you lose.
You lose. That's part of the game. So, Mike,
I hope
you still got your job.
Yeah. Next. All right. I got a little bit more text again. It's just how the story goes.
You're from Lausanne. You're educated.
So they say.
Yeah.
We're going back to the front desk with our friend Irene. Irene, how are you?
Like the name.
Like the name as well. The front desk clerk was running... Oh, boy. The front desk clerk was running an OnlyFans from the hotel.
My story, finally.
This is yours, right? You
dirty laundry.
Yeah.
It's not my story. I'm not running an OnlyFans.
Oh, no, and it's a lady as well. She was nice if not even a bit quiet and shy and guarded, but she'd leave during her shift with a key to an empty room. Oh boy. And come back a while later. I didn't find out until my last day when someone showed me the account.
That's the bad thing about us. We always show things, huh?
I was gonna say this is a thing in hospitality. Something like this will never stay quiet. Hospitality is way too connected, way too. There's no way this doesn't come out ever. I mean, what do you do if you? Okay, case scenario. You're the GM. You find out.
Oh boy, that's a hard one.
Can you realistically not say anything? I don't think you can.
No, you have to.
You have to say, right?
The point is, I always try to split. I'm gonna sit down, have a laugh, then switch up the terms and say you're fired. No, I'm kidding. No. But first of all,
that's a good one. That's a very good one.
If you talk about a hotel life, somebody used the room in an extent that you hopefully need to clean it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you clean it, there is cost involved and there's people in labor force involved. Yeah. So it is a theft kind of thing. Yeah. So it is taking something that you don't pay for.
Agreed.
So that's the thing that we have to tell there. What people do in their private life, and if they use an OnlyFans or not,
is their thing,
I could not be further away from having an opinion on that. It's not that I care.
Yeah.
So there is an official way to do it by, for example, coming in and booking that and really trying to get the room done and try to do something with the room. Or there is the way where you ask, for example, say, hey, I'm a content creator, blah 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 blah, so I want to create content. So that's a bit the thing. How open is that person with whatever they do? But if I look into this case specifically, I obviously would not want my hotel to be used for that.
That's the thing, right?
But between you and me, I mean, none of us ever was on a porn page. I'm fully aware of that. Knowing your presentations, I know as well that you're quite knowing how quick these porn pages are raising.
Yeah.
But if you are not on your work computer and you have a free moment, just put in any random famous hotel name on any random porn page where there's not the first people to do that because it is obviously a thing. Yep. We in Berlin have the Venus, which is the most famous and biggest erotic fair. Yeah. And I happened to be working in the Ibis Hotel next to it.
Oh boy.
And I can imagine a lot of movies have been filmed in that Ibis because you recognize an Ibis all over the world. So that's the point.
But that's always the thing, right? If what the hotel stuff does outside in their private life, nobody cares. They can do whatever.
Skip hotel. What stuff does in the private time is private.
Agreed. But it becomes a problem when the hotel gets involved in one capacity or another, and that clearly is the case here. So,
and now imagine it's a name of an art lawn or a Waldorf Astoria, where the name is a product that has some sort of conservativity, and the people that are going there as a guest,
it's usually 5-star lux. No,
so
for sure.
That's a thing that you have to do. But to be honest, it is still a funny story.
It's a great story, and there's actually a discussion to be had here because when we talk about porn sites, for example, I know for a fact that there's large hotel companies that run ads on Pornhub.com and very successful, might I add, because that's just how the story goes. Can you imagine OnlyFans.com/Waldorf Astoria Berlin? I mean, shout out to Gregor Andreevich, the GM of the Waldorf Astoria. Sorry for just an example, obviously.
Shout out to you, but there's a topic you want to hear probably. Yeah, but no, I mean, that's why I said it. I know. I remember your presentations. You always said that case that
outside the box, right? Pornhub, and it doesn't have to be porn. There's other platforms, streaming, Twitch. There's large hotel companies that now run extremely successful employer branding ads on Twitch.
And erotic pages, to be honest, in the history of the internet, were always for early adapters, always quick in commercials and making money and profitable. Yeah. So there is a business case in that, to be sure.
Absolutely.
But here we're not talking about a business account.
We're talking about
it is a person,
an activity in the hotel.
And then here we go. Whatever you do, that's whatever you do. And I always say to my people, you're smart until you get caught. Yeah. So don't get caught. That's all I can give to you.
Irene, appreciate you. Thank you.
That's a very good story.
It's a very good story. I agree.
Okay, let me see. Oh, finally I got some text.
You got some text? Oh boy.
You see, the difference is Fritz gets the pages that are like this because he's smart and he's from Lausanne. Yeah. And for me, they put it that way. So it's a bit more, I look more intelligent when I'm on the camera. Yeah. So Maud, nice French name, Maud.
Maud, bonjour.
She's
Maud.
the chief event manager. She hosted, or they hosted, a science conference once. I hope it's not only once, because if you did a good job, they're coming again. I was manager on duty, bad time, and they decided to do some experiments in the conference room. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Of course, something went wrong. Set off the fire alarm and blew out a window.
Oh, God.
We had the fire brigade turn up and had to evacuate the hotel. Here you're talking to the world champion of evacuating hotels. That's me. You look at me. I'm the world champion.
How many times did the fire alarm go off at the TSH Berlin this year?
This year is a bad one. We opened 2019, and since 2019, I did have around 340 fire alarms with full evacuation.
Oh my God.
It happened when we had 1,800 people at the opening party.
Oh God. I remember that story.
Yes,
I remember that story.
And it happened as well on a Sunday evening, 11 o'clock, when there was 2 staff members on duty. So whatever it is, I'm the world champion. So when you feel insecure about that, you can call me. It happened to us. So
you can reach him at 0175. And so
if you call the Berlin Fire Brigade, they will know.
They know him by name. Yeah.
You're joking. They come in, they know me. It's like, hi, good to see you. How are you? How's the family? No. The bad thing about this story is blew out a window.
Yeah, that's
must
crazy.
Be an explosion.
Like something blew up. Like something physically.
The fire alarm, something I'm aware. But blowing out a window, I never had. This means that something was so strong in the conference room that the window blew out, and I think that's a bit more scary.
But it just shows. I think it just shows how guests in hotels, how much they, and I mean this in the most literal of senses, how much they appreciate hospitality. Because I'm sure it's a bunch of, with all due respect, highly intelligent but very crazy professors that came to that conference and said, "Oh, it's a hotel. It's hospitality. I can do whatever I want. We rented the place. We've got the room. So here, let me show you what this product does with this product." Boom, the window's gone. That's exactly how I'm sure that's exactly how that story went.
Imagine us with nickel glasses, standing with our suits in a corner, 7 of us.
Yeah.
And that happens, and we look at each other and say, "Oops."
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Oops. No, but in the story, depending on where the conference room is, that when I hear a window being blown out, that means something falls. I'm always scared about the word falling. It doesn't matter of items or people. Falling is always a bit more dangerous. What happens if that window touches somebody on the floor, stuff like this. So here's
Great
the thing,
story,
Maud. I really hope that they gave you an amazing tip.
Yeah.
If they don't, share their name in the commentary field so that we can make sure that whenever we have this we have this company, that we ask them to give us good tips. And the second one, I think they were very sorry, which should be equivalent to the tip. And 3, I hope they did the conference again without an issue in the next year.
No chemistry in hotel rooms is what conference rooms is.
And I'll tell you, out of the TSH experience, we had a conference. They did the second Christmas party this year. Last year during the Christmas party, we had a fire alarm, obviously. This year during their Christmas party, I had a water leakage on the second floor, and the water was running around 2,000 liters of water only. Was running through the hotel and started dripping in the restaurant where the party happened.
Oh no.
So they asked my wonderful, my in-house Maud, my chief event officer manager, they asked, "Hey, we had a fire alarm. We had water. So the thing missing is wind. So do you want to create a storm next year?" I said, let's sell it as an adventure. But hey, this shit happens.
What's worse, fire or water? Oh, fire alarm, fake fire alarm, where obviously, God forbid, there's no fire.
No.
Or water leakage.
Everything that has people getting harmed
is the worst.
It's bad. If it comes to damages, I don't want to say there's a difference, but both of it is, if you have water leakage or water problems, you have to renovate. If you have fire problems, you have to renovate. Today's hotel are so modern built that it's not probably burning down to the ground.
It doesn't go that quick. No, I agree. Maud, thanks.
Amazing.
Oh, I mean, the name already is just pure sex.
Why, Fritz?
No, worse. Rupert. Oh, Rupert. You are the man.
Isn't that the friend of Greg? My son reads the book Greg's Diary.
Yeah, that's true. Rupert, reservations manager. We're hiring a new staff member. Easy enough.
Probably the girl from the OnlyFans account, and I know why.
She left the other job. She needs a new room. When HR reaches out to the candidate 4 days after the interview with the contract, the candidate replies that he is not interested anymore because he doesn't feel appreciated due to the long waiting time. Very interesting.
How long?
Yeah, that I'm not sure about that. 4 days. That's quick. Not sure about that. I don't think the candidate has. I mean, 4 days is not a long time, in my opinion.
HR reaches out with the contract already. That's amazing.
Yeah, and you need to give any HR team, whether that's hospitality, it doesn't matter. You need to give them a week to make a decision. They probably had multiple candidates that they looked at. They may have done multiple interview rounds. 4 days is not, and it comes to show. And this is a classic example. And I, it's not going to start hating on generations here, but I think this is a generational thing again. I think there's a question here of patience as well. You're not necessarily going to get a decision from a company of any size within less than 4 days. I think
there is
so
many things here that I would need more information in order to judge. So I don't want to judge on nobody. But the first of all is so HR reaches out after 4 days. I think 4 days is a fair period.
Yeah, I agree.
Thinking about stuff, seeing different people. But it's always the question during the interview: what did you or your professional team tell the candidate? So I usually tell my people always the next timeline. I said, look, I have 3 candidates. I probably need another week to decide, and I'll get back to you. And then we have a second, third, fourth round. How many? So it's a bit of transparency could have been missing. I don't know that. Nevertheless, they reach out with the contract, so the decision has been made.
Yeah, and you can sign. You've got the job.
And within the 4 days before HR reaches out, there probably could be by the hiring manager, a call or a text or whatever saying, hey, you got the job. But that's just what I cannot see. And the candidate replies that he's not interested anymore because he doesn't feel appreciated due to the long waiting time. So we don't know whether that's the real reason or whether there was a different job that you then took. But as a matter of fact, I think 4 days is not a long
4 days is
time
4 days
for
is
a
fair.
job. So
4 days is fair. Agreed.
I mean, you have at least 2 weeks notice period in a lot of countries and a lot of jobs. So,
100%. And you have 3 months notice period usually when you leave your contract.
In Germany,
yeah. Put that into relation to 4 days, then that's fine. Rupert, not your fault, man. You're good.
No, and the question is as well, staff member for what and how do you
what
treat
role
that?
and so on and so forth. Yeah, you're right.
Probably, Rupert, what was your take on this? I would really think about. I would be interested. How did you take it? Did you feel bad, or was it like you start?
It sounds like Rupert was the hiring manager, right? I would assume. I would assume it was somebody for the reservations team and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, if you sent us this and the question was, is 4 days too quick? No, 4 days is absolutely fine. I think we can both agree.
Are you still looking? I don't know
Robert,
how much you're paying.
I mean, send us an offer, man. stories@smack.media. You let me know what you're paying. I'll be there. No worries.
And for the person who turned down the job, if you want to be appreciated more, just drop me a
apply at TSH. There we go. A little recruitment right there.
Okay. Let's see.
Next.
I got a card, an empty card. Oh, man, there's a lot of text.
No, boy.
I think it's for you. No,
this for me? Okay. Run it.
Okay, this from my friend Bernardo.
Oh, bravo, Bernardo. Bravo.
Bernardo is a receptionist, and he said, I had a weird guest named Fritz. No, it's not standing here. But I had a weird guest who called the front desk and said, there are bubbles in my toilet. Why are there bubbles in my toilet?
That sounds like a Taylor Swift song. Bubbles in my toilet.
I told her they might have flushed the water pipes. She then said, hold on. I am going to bring some down. I said, ma'am, that's really not necessary. I would have said the same. But she was already off the line. About 5 minutes later, she comes down the elevator with a wine glass full of clear water. Well, it was bubbly a minute ago. I had to walk in the back and beat my head against the wall for a bit.
Oh, wow. Man.
That's a good story.
That's a great story.
Hey, how's your head doing?
Yeah, Bernardo, how's your head, man?
How long did you beat for that? Now, here's the thing. People in a hotel, sometimes they don't, if it's not like you know it at home, everything seems to be new. So I have no idea what caused the bubbles.
Can you imagine the guest walks up to reception and says, hey, here's a wine glass of toilet water.
Can you imagine?
What?
Let's think about how did she get the water out of the toilet in a wine glass?
Which is actually not that easy.
She had a straw. She was
this is nasty.
It's like out of water.
But it just comes to show you. We're getting a card in the background that says too dirty.
Okay, that was for me.
But can it just comes. Oh, Phil, please. It just comes to show how logic some things in the hotel are to people that work in the hotel. And then there's others who think it's perfectly normal to bring toilet water down in a wine glass to the front desk and say, hey, do you want to have a sniff? No.
I mean, how much time would you have to check your toilet water if it's bubbly, and how would you care? If the bubbles are not talking to you, jumping out causing acid reaction on the...
If I can close the acid reaction, leads us back to the guy blowing out the window. Maybe it's the same guy. Maybe it's the same conference.
Hey, you're right. Was it during a conference?
Yeah, it was during the same conference. I think Bernardo and what was her name? Irene, I think. Yeah, I think, or Maud.
Maud,
Yeah.
Maud.
I think Bernardo and Maud work in the same hotel, and the same substances that blew out the window then ended up in the bathroom.
It could be.
That is, I think that's my answer.
Yeah,
that's my answer. Bernardo, listen, what we learned from this is the science conferences are a wild place, first and foremost. And second of all, some guests are just different.
Hey,
that's just how the story goes.
And don't beat your head to the wall. I don't want you to be sick or whatever. There is just a thing called guests, and it's
we need
the
them.
best thing we need, and at the same time, the herd of the best stories. So this woman is amazing. I really,
Bernardo, man. All right, should we do one more?
One more is
Vamos.
good.
This is from my friend Renee. Renee, how we doing? Receptionist, yet again. A walk-in comes to the front desk and asks my colleague for the price of a room. So far, so good. As the guest hears the price, he states that he could find a cheaper price on booking.com, and my colleague replies that the guest should then book on booking.com instead. This is our management strategy. Oof. Big oof.
Wow.
I mean, I hope for a fact that it's not part of the management strategy, because if it is, then that is very, very wrong. We know the stats, right? The stats are no secret. We know that the booking, depending on what city, what country, and so on and so forth, we know that booking will charge you anywhere between 10, 12% up to 20, 25%
That's correct.
In some countries, right? We know that for a fact. And we know that the booking through your direct website is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 2, 3, maybe 5%.
If you have one, yeah.
If you have one, right? If you don't have one. So, and I know that we both have talked about this in conferences, and we've talked about this together and everything. It's just a clear case of losing money.
Correct.
Full stop.
And the problem starts way in the back. We don't know the back end of website of this hotel,
Agreed.
of your company. So there could be a management decision indeed saying, hey, we don't invest in a website. We can discuss whether it's right or not. And then you can have a white label solution of booking.com. And then this is your booking engine. It's just another channel system. So that means you save at one point probably 20, 25K for a new website, depending on the size and the space and the big your hotel.
Yeah.
But on the long term, you might be losing a lot of money. So, but here's the thing: why as a management you could say, "Hey, book online to get a cheaper rate." By booking online, you don't take you, Renee, and your team away from the guest duties of making people happy. That means you're not on the phone, you're not typing in stupid names or details that could be done by the guest himself. And this is as well money. So your working time is money. And if you invest that in order to make guests happy, that could be a decision to say, push everything online. We don't do reservations in hotel.
Agreed.
Always the point. We can discuss whether it's the right or the wrong management strategy. Here at the Social Hub, I don't have on desk people who can make a reservation by chance. They always would say, go to our reservations department because there is an expert team that does it very quickly.
Dedicated.
So that's a dedicated team. So that could be one thing. But, and here's the deal. When your management told you that you should ask the guests to book on booking.com once they already made the effort of calling you.
Worse, they've walked in.
Or even being present.
They're in front of you.
You can always see on some sort of bargain, because you always could say any rate that is on booking.com minus 20%, that's the level you have. And everything that is between the 20, the rate minus 20% is better profit for you and your hotel.
I agree.
And every management will understand that once the system allows you as a rank and file to book extra rate or to put in a rebate, but usually all property management systems, all PMS have that ability for you to have like a percentage off. So you could say to the walk-in, hey, super nice to have you here. I can offer you the room for 5-10% or 5-10% off if you want to. I'll book it right away. Or you can as well ask them to book the room on their device or on a computer in the lobby with a certain code, and then they can do it themselves when you're not allowed to. But as a management, I would always.
There's no way in hell that is the right way to do it. There's no way. And you know the bad thing. Two things. The bad thing, the guest in front of you. That's the best selling point you will ever have. And the second is that guest is lost to Booking.com forever. For sure, right?
Exactly.
He's not coming back to you to book direct once he's gotten that sentence from your receptionist.
And looking at the purpose of Booking.com. Booking.com or all the other OTAs, their mission is to
For legal reasons, there's others. There's Expedia and Trivago.
They all have the same concept behind it.
Exactly.
But what they want is they want to bring you guests that you usually could not reach because they're not coming physically to your hotel and you don't speak Chinese in your hotel. So they would cater to guests somewhere else. So their mission is to bring you guests to the hotel. And once the guest arrives at your hotel, you have to do everything you can to make him happy and to call you next time and book the room because of you. So that's a bit the reason. So this, what we saw here in this example, the guest was not brought by Booking, but we gave Booking a free 20% of our rate in a case where we could have done it ourselves. So this is a bit the point.
Should we really piss them off and do one more? No. That's who said no? Who
I thought you cannot talk.
I thought he was quiet.
You're just a sock. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do. Ladies and gents, that was another thrilling episode of Smack's Dirty Laundry. If you have stories for us, then please go ahead and send them. stories@smack.media is the place to go. Thanks for everything. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Hey there, you still here? I'm still here. Amazing. We really hope you liked the show. If so, comment below, like, follow, and share all your thoughts with us. And don't forget, there's much more social media channels out there, and we want to have you on all of them. So stay a friend of Smack, and I hope you see you again.